All right, so today the idea is basically to build three simple circuits that are going to give you a varying voltage output and read that value using the Arduino ADC and display that information on the serial port. So you can see that first you're basically going to use the potentiometer, which is an adjustable resistor. So as you adjust it, you change the resistance between 1 and 2 and 2 and 3. So it's just a changeable voltage divider, and you're going to be reading off the voltage between those two. So as you adjust the position of this potentiometer, it will change the voltage here at A0, and you'll be able to read that with the ADC. So you're going to write basically a simple program that's going to read that ADC value and print it to the serial port. At the same time, you're going to check what that voltage is with the multimeter, and you're going to make several measurements here, and the idea is to show that you've got this nice linear relationship. So you're going to take a bunch of measurements and then make a graph. Next thing you're going to do is set up the with a diode and a resistor. You're just going to calculate, or you're just going to read the measurement of the voltage across the diode. The key thing here is you need to have your Arduino ground and 5 volts connected to your breadboard. Otherwise, these aren't going to work properly. And in this case, this should be a small fixed voltage at 0.7 volts. And then finally, you're going to set up this slightly more complicated circuit, but it's basically the resistor, the diode, and the potentiometer, and you're going to read off of this value here. And what this is going to do is vary the voltage from 0 to a maximum value that is set by this diode. So again, 0.7 volts. And in fact, after you have completed the first part, you could write into your program basically the way to read the ADC value and have the Arduino convert it to a voltage. So just to quickly go over what you should expect to see, I wrote a couple of quick programs. So if I first just look at reading the ADC value, actually, let me show you on the camera here. So just for speed, I basically built the 3 circuits separately. That way I don't have to swap between them when I'm showing everybody that. So you can see here that I have a potentiometer, which is this big thing with a knob here. So as I adjust it, there's 3 pins on the bottom, and the voltage will vary on this middle pin as I turn that. And then over here, I have just the simple resistor and the diode, and then this black wire running all the way over here. These are all of my inputs going to my ADC pins. And then finally, this is the third circuit right here. I have a different style small potentiometer there. You may have that type where basically you'll need like it'll have a small screw on one side of it that you will adjust with a screwdriver, but it's all that sort of thing. So you could, if I get my multimeter into frame here and I turn it on, and I will hook on, I'm actually reading, here, let me read the the diode one first. So you'll see, right, I've got about 0.66 volts there. That's fixed. And then if I do a similar thing with the potentiometer, so it's turned all the way to one way, so that's why it's 0. But as I turn the knob on this potentiometer, you'll see the voltage increases. And then I can eventually turn it all the way up to the full 5 volts that I'm getting the Arduino. So I can vary this all the way from 0 to 5 volts. And that is going to be read by the Arduino. So like I said, the first thing you want to do is basically write a quick program that reads that value and outputs it to the serial port. So if we go over to the Arduino IDE, and I share my screen, I have one of these programs already written. And if I upload that to the Arduino and pull up my serial monitor, so it uploaded correctly. And if I pull up the serial monitor, you can see right here, let me just clear all the old stuff. So it's writing out a particular value, in this case 316. And as I adjust the potentiometer, you can see it went down to 150 and 0. And if I turn it the other way, I can make it go higher. So the idea is you take several measurements, take the voltage and take the ADC value. One thing I find that makes this easier is if you add a pause in, like this delay. That's why it's not spitting this out every, as fast as it possibly can. I added a delay so that it would wait every 2 seconds, but there's no particular reason to have it wait that long. That's just the number I picked. And then finally, if you do it for all of them, I have a program that reads all 3 of the pins, and then I calculated basically a calibration curve. So when you take your points from the first part, you have an ADC value, you have a voltage. If you plot it, you get a line. You can either plot with ADC value and on the X and voltage on the Y. And if you get the equation for that line, that gives you the equation for converting from ADC value to voltage. So you can then add that to your program and make it output in voltage. And then this is just the equation of the line in the other way with the voltage on the X and the ADC value on the Y. But you can see there, basically, I have it reading out each of the pins and then outputting the appropriate voltage. And if you look in particular at that one voltage, you can see it change from, right now it's 3.6, and if I turn it one way, it goes up, and I turn it another way, it goes down. That is it.